Buongiorno a tutti e grazie per la vostra partecipazione al webinar innanzitutto. Io sono Deborah Bazzi e lavoro nel marketing di Prodotti Gianni come product manager del Dipartimento Food. Abbiamo organizzato questo webinar in collaborazione con la nostra rappresentata Fibra e il relatore sarà Stefano Psilopoulos. Il webinar tratterà l'utilizzo di questa innovativa fibra di agrumi biologica che ha molteplici funzioni nei vari alimenti. Intanto che aspettiamo che si colleghino tutti, inizio col dare qualche informazione di servizio. Per il webinar, allora, il webinar si svolgerà in lingua inglese. Il relatore, come dicevo, sarà Stefanos, della nostra rappresentata americana Fiberstar, che è il Technical Sales Manager. Questo webinar verrà registrato, quindi vi manderemo poi la presentazione che condividiamo adesso durante l'incontro e in più la registrazione per poterla seguire anche in futuro. E potete trovare in alto nella barra una sezione di domande e risposte, in modo che voi possiate già scrivere durante il webinar. Se avete delle domande o qualcosa da chiedere, potete digitare in questa sezione e noi leggeremo le domande e le risposte verranno date tutte al termine della presentazione. Inizio col dare qualche informazione sulla Prodotti Gianni e poi passeremo alla parte più tecnica del webinar. Please, Stefano, if you can change the slide. Ok. Ok, iniziamo con questa parte quindi più generale della Prodotti Gianni. Prodotti Gianni nasce nel 1948 con il dottor Virgilio Gianni. La Prodotti Gianni distribuisce soluzioni ingredientistiche in 4 mercati: il cosmetico, l'alimentare, il farmanutraceutico e la ricerca scientifica. Possiamo dire che l'innovazione è il cuore della Prodotti Gianni, infatti al momento l'azienda possiede 17 brevetti. Attualmente l'azienda è composta da 87 persone e contiamo 2 laboratori applicativi, uno per il food e uno per il cosmetico. Please change the slide. Questo è il motto della nostra azienda, quindi la nostra competenza è il vostro valore, che diciamo che è ciò che riassume tutte le scelte che facciamo come Prodotti Gianni. Infatti non siamo solo un distributore, ma vogliamo dare un servizio completo ai nostri clienti. Questo grazie alla conoscenza che abbiamo del mercato, dei nostri prodotti e delle applicazioni. E in più ci teniamo ad avere un continuo aggiornamento, quindi una formazione presso i nostri fornitori e degli aggiornamenti con dei corsi interni. Please, next slide. Per quanto riguarda il nostro lavoro, noi mettiamo la nostra competenza al servizio del nostro cliente. Infatti vogliamo offrire un servizio completo che ricopre diversi settori e tutto questo è permesso dal team specialistico che abbiamo. Infatti abbiamo dei tecnici commerciali specializzati, 2 laboratori applicativi che, come dicevo, sono per il settore cosmetico e per quello food. Abbiamo un laboratorio di marketing che si occupa dello studio del mercato, dei vari trend, in modo da guidare poi le decisioni aziendali, e diamo anche un supporto regolatorio ai nostri clienti sul prodotto finito. Next one, please. E il laboratorio food possiamo definire che è il fiore all'occhiello del nostro dipartimento food, che conta più di 150 metri quadrati di laboratorio, e nel nostro laboratorio lavorano 5 tecnici specializzati che sono sia specializzati per applicazioni, quindi ci sono i vari tecnici dairy, bakery, meat, eccetera, e poi c'è anche una persona dedicata allo studio e la funzionalità, la valutazione delle materie prime, quindi i nuovi prodotti, i nuovi ingredienti che troviamo sul mercato, oppure quelli che ci vengono offerti dalle nostre case rappresentate. In più abbiamo 2 chef specializzati, che queste persone ricoprono il ruolo di chef specializzati, in quanto preparano i prototipi di prodotto finito in cui presentiamo le nostre proposte ingredientistiche, e quindi si occupano di far toccare col mano i prodotti che facciamo nel nostro laboratorio. E a proposito di questo, ogni anno dal nostro laboratorio escono più di 2000 prototipi di prodotto finito. Questo considerando sia i progetti interni, oppure progetti che partono dai brief dei nostri clienti. Questo per dire che la Prodotti Gianni si occupa di offrire un servizio completo al cliente, quindi non solo alla vendita degli ingredienti, ma aiuta sia nella formulazione e anche nella valorizzazione del prodotto finito. Next one, please. Okay, Stefanos, you can start.
Okay, thank you very much. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Stefanos Psilopoulos. I'm technical sales manager of Fiberstar in Europe, responsible for the biggest part of Europe, working together with Prodotti Gianni in Italy. Let's start with, let's talk about Citri-Fi itself, a few words about Citri-Fi, what exactly Fiberstar is doing. Citri-Fi is created using a patented process, okay, that opens up the fiber to create a natural high water holding capacity and emulsification properties which benefit multiple food products. Citri-Fi can be labeled as citrus fiber, citrus flower, or dried citrus pulp. In Europe, the most common is citrus fiber, which works well in the clean label and natural markets. The high functionality is due to the intact native pectin that resides in the citrus fiber. This is also the basic difference of Citri-Fi versus other similar products in the marketplace. Citri-Fi also works synergistically with other hydrocolloids like starches, gums to provide additional functionalities, improve nutritional profiles, and offer potential cost savings. Because of the simple labeling, Citri-Fi can help to clean up the labels of products by replacing or reducing other ingredients such as modified starches, gums, allergens, and other, including saturated fats and phosphates. Citri-Fi has a no number, so which is the basic advantage, and this natural citrus fiber is non-GMO project certified, allergen-free, gluten-free. It contributes to the fiber, to the nutritional labeling, and of course, it's available in an organic, certified organic version. So the Citri-Fi product line is derived from the raw orange pulp and peel generated from the orange juicing process. Half of the citrus fruit is the juice, and the other half is the fibrous byproducts, our raw material. The natural fiber raw material is mechanically processed using a patented technology to create extended surface area while maintaining its natural composition. The process does not involve solvent extraction or chemical modifications. Thus, the soluble and insoluble fiber, protein, and lipids stay intact, providing the high water holding capacity, natural emulsification, and gelling properties. So we are not the only one that we produce citrus fiber. We are the only one that we are producing organic citrus fiber, and this is a key point. But in general, as for citrus fiber, let's say that not all citrus fiber are created the same, are not produced the same. As I already mentioned, Citri-Fi is created holistically and is derived from the citrus pulp and peel. No extraction or chemical modification occurs. The Citri-Fi is left in the original natural form of the citrus pulp and peel, and the composition consists of insoluble and soluble fiber. Our manufacturing process involves standard traditional processing methods like washing, heating, cutting, drying, and grinding versus most of the rest citrus fiber in the market that are byproducts of the pectin extraction. So their byproduct is the peel that has already stripped out of the pectin. So they used acid to strip out the pectin, and that makes some limited functionalities and stability. So Fiberstar offers conventional and organic Citri-Fi. The conventional citrus fiber is the Citri-Fi 100. We are producing this product the last almost 20 years. And 2 years ago, we decided to launch an organic citrus fiber, the Citri-Fi 400 series. Okay. Which comes like the 100 in various particle sizes. So we choose the right particle size based on the application and the end product or the mouthfeel. You can understand with the coarse one, it can deliver a more coarse pulpy texture, with the fine grinded, a fine pulpy texture, and with the finest one, the M40, a very fine and smooth texture. So Citri-Fi contains over 80% fiber, depending on the product. This fiber is half soluble, that contains native pectin, half insoluble fiber, and protein. The soluble fiber, which is the pectin, attracts the water, binds it, and provides viscosity. The insoluble fiber provides a structure to hold the water, and the protein helps in binding fat and oil to stabilize emulsions. These benefits are novel since there are very few ingredients right now that can bind both water and oil naturally, okay? Even during harsh food processing conditions such as freeze-thaw. So what are the key natural functionalities of Citri-Fi? First one, high water holding capacity. Citri-Fi can hold up to 10 times its weight in water in any food processing and storage conditions. 2, emulsification properties. Citri-Fi can emulsify up to 8 times its weight in oil, excuse me. Gelling properties. Citri-Fi contains native pectin. This HM pectin can be activated at low pH, high Brix conditions. And last one, viscosity. Additional viscosity is generated in high shear conditions. So we will discuss a little bit about all that key functionalities in the next slide. So Citri-Fi, as we said, holds up to 10 times its weight in water. Here we demonstrate Citri-Fi's water binding power. Okay, in that case, it's used in high usage levels, not typically used in food application. However, it helps to showcase its binding ability. This is 1 to 10. Okay, 10% Citri-Fi was mixed in water. It starts swells, it binds the water, and it can hold that water even during harsh processing conditions. There are several important points from this slide. First one is the shear. As done in this study by 30 seconds ultra Turax mixer, can be a way to accelerate hydration and gain more water holding capacity. High shear can boost the functionality of Citri-Fi, can increase the water holding capacity, can increase the stability. Second, seared or not, the temperature does not make any difference on the water holding capacity. Those experiments were conducted both at 20 degrees and 80 degrees with similar results at both temperatures. So the high pressure homogenization can be the key to success in some cases. The high pressure can increase the water holding capacity, increase the viscosity, and improve the texture and stability. Citri-Fi does not break down when it's homogenized, and we say that more is always better. So even if we can increase the pressure during the homogenization, or even have 2 cycles of homogenization, it can really make the difference. Of course, it depends on the application. There are some cases that high pressure homogenization is not necessary. So I would like to highlight what I said before about the effect of the shear strength or the high pressure on the viscosity of the Citri-Fi 400 product, the organic one. We made 3% Citri-Fi 400 or 400 FG suspension with different shear equipment. The dynamic viscosity was measured with a rheometer. If no shear is applied, Citri-Fi is not evenly dispersed, so the flow behavior is not consistent. Under different levels of shear, the Citri-Fi can be hydrated to form a uniform suspension and typically display shear thinning behavior. However, the shear strength makes a big difference on the viscosity of the suspension. High shear can help to increase the fiber surface area so as to expose more functional groups to form stronger hydrogen bonding with water, which results in a higher viscosity. Here we list some common mixers for comparison. The ranking of the effectiveness is high pressure homogenizer, which is the most efficient, then a countertop blender, then an ultra-thorax dispenser, an immersion blender, and a propeller mixer. If the homogenizer is available for you, you can see a dramatically improved viscosity and improved texture. So another comment is that the organic Citri-Fi undergoes some extra washing steps. So it's positioned for flavor-sensitive applications. Because of that additional steps, it can also deliver higher viscosity and shows an improvement in stability over the Citri-Fi 100. Here we can see the improved suspension stability of the organic Citri-Fi products. Citri-Fi is mixed with distilled water in a blender for 3 minutes. We have found that the minimum usage rate for homogeneous suspension of the 400 FG is just 2% versus 5% that we need with the 100 FG. Emulsification. So this is something that we enjoy showing this demonstration, what you can see here. So Citri-Fi is mixed into the oil first. The fiber surface area opens up to trap the oil when mixing starts. Then the water is added and it pushes oil deeper into the open cell structure of Citri-Fi. The water hydrating the fiber, which causes to swell and create viscosity. This emulsion made this way has been left out for weeks without breaking, which further proves Citri-Fi's ability to create natural emulsions. The other unique feature of Citri-Fi is the ability to provide additional functionality when it is seared. This also works for emulsions. So while many ingredients break down and lose their functionality when exposed to high shear or high pressure homogenization, Citri-Fi uses the shear to its benefit. Here you can see emulsions created by hand versus 100 bar and 200 bar of homogenization pressure. The emulsions become thicker with a high pressure or high shear. This benefits many food products such as sauces dairy products, dairy alternatives, and beverages. So we also talked about that the Citri-Fi, the organic one, undergoes some extra washing steps that can help a little bit with improved stability of the product. So here you can see the improved emulsion stability of the organic Citri-Fi versus the conventional Citri-Fi 100. Just a comment, in some slides you can see 600 instead of 400, okay? Like in that case over here. 600, it's the same product as the 400, but it's not organic certified, okay? So in some cases we are using also the name 600, but the organic certified product is the 400, and it has exactly the same functionality as the 600. So in some slides, you will see just 600 instead of 400. You can consider that it's the same product. So this emulsion formula is 50% canola oil, around 48% water, and 2 to 3% Citri-Fi. We mix Citri-Fi with the oil first, and then we add the water and we mix with Ultra Turex dispenser at 2000 RPM for 1 minute. And then we checked the stability of the emulsions after 3 days and the usage rate. So we have seen that the minimum usage rate for homogeneous emulsions with the 400 FG, the organic one, is 2%, versus the 100 FG, the conventional citrus fiber, that we need 4. Gelling. So the last benefit, not the last, one of the benefits that Citri-Fi provides gelling is that it contains about 40% native pectin. This is high methoxylated pectin that can be activated using the same parameters as commercial pectins. So this fiber can be used to extend the pectin or replace in fruit preparation for bakery, yogurts, and beverages. However, its most popular use is to improve fruit preparation texture. So in high brix and low pH conditions, the Citri-Fi gelling properties are activated. Citri-Fi is offered in various particle sizes, which can create different texturized fruit preps. So because of that natural high degree of methoxylation, Citri-Fi's pectin can form gels under sugar acid conditions. This picture shows 2% Citri-Fi at 60 brix in a system using an apple pulp. Gelation only occurs when you add enough acid. The graph is a tool to use as a starting point when formulating. It shows the varying conditions demonstrate the effect of pH and brix on gel strength. In this scenario, 2% Citri-Fi is used to generate the results. Gelling occurs when the gel strength is 100 or more. Okay, so you can see that the interaction of sugar and acid, higher brix system generate stronger gels. With less than 55 sugar or soluble solids, the HM pectin cannot form zones needed for a real gel. So what we say is that we need minimum 55 or 60, let's say, brix and a pH lower than 3.3 to start getting firm, stable gels. So dry plating. If you recall, we said that Citri-Fi uses a patented physical process that opens the fiber up exposing a lot of surface area. Okay, these long chains of cellulose and hemicellulose and pectin content of Citri-Fi gives the fiber a unique ability to bind and hold water. As you can see from the scanning, electron micrograph shown here, there are a lot of pockets and places for oil to penetrate the fiber. It is this porosity that gives Citri-Fi the ability to hold up to 25% oil on its surface. So Citri-Fi can be used as a carrier, and the oils can be plated on Citri-Fi at levels 5 to 6 times more than, for example, maltodextrin, up to 25%, while maintaining a flowable dry powder. From the chart on the right, 4% loads for maltodextrin matches the flowability of 25% load into Citri-Fi. So this makes a great case for cost in use because producers can use 5 to 6 times the amount of plated maltodextrin to get similar oil delivery with Citri-Fi. In this video, you can see how simple it is to dry plated oil flavor powder oils into Citri-Fi. So we can go up to 20-25% load, and it's a good for plating of flavors and seasonings. So why Citri-Fi is an ingredient? First, it's a fiber, okay? So there adds nutritional benefits. It can increase the dairy fiber content, it can lower the carbs and the starch content. It can improve the organoleptic properties, it can provide texture, firmness, improve the juiciness in the products, provide better mouthfeel and body. It can clean up and shorten the ingredient list in the product. It can reduce or replace chemical modified ingredients for texture and emulsification. And of course, it's a sustainable ingredient. Okay. So now we will just review a little bit the food applications, and then we will check few case studies, okay? Unfortunately, we cannot cover all the food applications, so I choose the most, let's say, the application that really shows how Citri-Fi can work because of its functionality. So one of our top applications, of course, it's for processed meats. Citri-Fi can be injected. There is no problem with the brines, no problems with the viscosity of the brine, to improve the yield, reduce the perch, replace phosphates. It can be used in emulsified products, but also in minced meat products, again, to manage the humidity and the fat, so to reduce the perch, improve the yield, improve the texture and juiciness of the product. For bakery products, first one, we can manage the humidity, so that means that we can improve and we can manage the freshness over time of the product. You can replace oil and egg. You can partially replace oil and egg. We have seen that we can go up to 50% oil replacement in soft bakery products like cakes and muffins. And we have seen that we can go up to 20% egg reduction in similar products, okay? For gluten-free, it can improve a lot with the structure. It can improve a lot with the freshness of the product. And of course, for fillings, because we have the native HM pectin, it can help for pectin extension to improve the texture, to improve the stability of the fruit prep or any filling that you need to emulsify and stabilize. For dressing and sauces, you can understand that we can use it to emulsify, we can use it to improve the viscosity of the product, okay, the stability of the product. You can potentially replace fats, you can potentially reduce the oil in your recipe, or reduce and replace the egg. For beverages, it's a citrus fiber, so it's very commonly used in products like smoothies and juices to provide pulpy mouthfeel with a clean label way, because it's a citrus pulp, nothing more than this. So it can improve also in powder drinks, the texture, the viscosity, and the clouding of the product. And for plant-based and protein-enhanced drinks to improve stability, mouthfeel, and texture. For dairy products, it can be used in yogurts and creams to reduce inerties, as an emulsifier to add viscosity and texture. One of our top applications is the cheese spreads, as an emulsifier and to provide better mouthfeel and body to the product. For frozen foods, it can be used for sauces, dairy desserts, bakery, and ice cream, because it can improve the freeze-thaw stability of the products. So for plant-based foods, again, meat alternatives, it's one of the fast-growing segments for us, because Citri-Fi, the 100 line, the 400 FG, for example, it's used because it can be emulsify the fat, it can solidify the oil, and it can provide meat-like texture and juiciness to the meat alternatives. For beverages, and especially dairy alternative beverages, it can provide stability, clean up the label, potentially replace gums, and for the rest, dairy alternatives, to use it to reduce synersis and emulsification. Another one segment for Citri-Fi is the pet food. It's very similar to the food, so you can understand that what is working for food, it can work also for pet food. But the main reason to use it is for emulsification and moisture retention for the same moist treats. And last one is the plating. It's what we discussed before, that it can replace other carriers, and you can go up to 25% load with the oil. So we will check the next 5-10 minutes some case studies, and then we can check your questions and have a discussion. So I tried to choose, let's say, 5 products that really shows how Citri-Fi works. This is a quite new one for us with the organic product, the vegan mayo. So Citri-Fi is the ability that can help to replace the egg, provide emulsification, and provide viscosity to the product. The Citri-Fi 400 FG was dry blended with sugar and salt, and then was added under high searing in the water, okay? And then we add slowly the oil. In that case, the product was homogenized at 250 bar, but you can either use a colloid mill or a high searing machine. We had available in the lab a homogenizer, so we decided to do it with a high pressure homogenizer. The benefits is emulsification, viscosity, creaminess, and stability. So if you compare it with a commercial product, another vegan mayo, that uses modified food starches and gums, we have seen that we can get the same viscosity with 3% Citri-Fi 400 Fg and a little bit lower with 2% Citri-Fi 400 Fg. So potentially, in products like this, you can replace the egg, emulsify the product, and replace the starches. Plant-based drinks. Okay, this is another one segment that it's a very fast growing for us. This is an almond milk. Citri-Fi was used at 0.25 in a clean label almond drink. No gel and gum, no other gums to stabilize the drink. The key to success for this application is the homogenization. Okay, we need the maximum pressure and in some cases 2 cycles to stabilize the drinks. So you can see on the photo on the left bottle, the left bottle is the one with Citri-Fi, and on the right it's without Citri-Fi. So you can see the phase separation over time caused by protein denaturation and the sedimentation of the protein and fiber. Another case study, barbecue sauce. In that case, we use this 100 and the 400 products at 1.5% versus a native starch and a modified starch. Okay, so Citri-Fi was added in the water under high searing, and then all the ingredients together were homogenized at 250 bar. So you can see that if you compare Citri-Fi, the 1.5 homogenized 400 product, okay, sorry, the 1.5 with organic product was not homogenized, was just high seared, versus the homogenized Citri-Fi 100, we can get the same viscosity. And if you compare it with a product with native starch and the modified starch at 3%, you can see the improvement on the viscosity. So we have seen that in cases that customers, they were looking for the maximum viscosity, but they didn't care if it's organic or not, so they were using the 100 for conventional products. They switched to the 600 or 400 product because they could get the same viscosity, but without high pressure homogenization. So the organic product can deliver more or less the same viscosity as the 100, but with high searing versus the 100 homogenized. Another one for meat. This is a very simple test. We just used a very simple recipe for burgers. So we have the control, no Citri-Fi and just 0.5 Citri-Fi. And we just grilled them and checked the water loss during grilling. Okay, so it's very simple and it's for the meat, just to show how it can work, because we can bind the water, so we can improve the water losses. And this works also really nice for emulsified sausages, but also for hams, because it can be injected. Citri-Fi is injectable, no problems with the needles, no problems with the bride. And last one, something for bakery, is to reduce the oil in soft bakery like muffins. So in that case, we replace 25% of the fat with Citri-Fi and ratio 1:7. 1 part of fiber, 7 parts of water. Okay, to replace 8 parts of oil and go up to 25%. We have seen that we can go up to 40, 50% and get more or less the same product. So the reduced oil muffins using Citri-Fi have similar textural results as full fat control. Okay, you can see the baking losses, that it's improved or more or less the same, the volume of the product, and the average height. There is a small improvement for the 25% oil-reduced product. And Citri-Fi improved the nutritional profile because we have fewer calories, less total fat, and more fiber. So it can help a lot also with the nutritional profile of the product. Okay. So we can start with the questions. I can already see some questions. So does Citri-Fi need the homogenization step to activate its functionality? No. Homogenization is not necessary in all cases. Yes, if we are talking about dairy products, okay, or if we are talking about plant-based, the dairy alternatives, they need anyway homogenization. So Citri-Fi can work better in that case. But for bakery, for meat, even in some cases for spreads and sauces, high searing or colloid mills are enough. Okay. For example, for bakery, we just dry blend it with the flour. For meat, we just use it, we just dry mix it with the rest ingredients. It's only in case that high searing can really help with emulsification. Okay. Does the Citri-Fi release of odor to the product? No. But if you are using, let's say, really high, you have a really high usage rate, it can have some off taste, some earth taste, a little bit of bitterness. In case that you are too high with the dosage in a sensitive to taste, to flavor end product. Okay, so that's why we decided the 400 to undergo some extra washing steps to get rid of some components that were delivering this off taste. Citri-Fi 400, the organic one, is deflavored product and really neutral in taste. Does it withstand sterilization process? Yes, we have seen, it depends on the end product and the kind of emulsion or suspension, okay? But we have seen that in some cases it can work, it can be stabilized, no separation during sterilization. Does Citri-Fi work in cream fillings? Of course, I mean, this is one of our top application because Citri-Fi can emulsify, can provide texture and stability and improve the mouthfeel of the cream fillings. Okay, and we have seen really good freeze-thaw stability and baking stability. How much water is needed for complete dispersion in the solution? Is water always necessary for its complete solubilization? Citri-Fi, I mean, yeah, Citri-Fi is only functional if there is humidity. Okay, so we need some water, some humidity. It can bind, but it's not, it depends on the application. If we are talking about emulsions, for example, it's really hard to use Citri-Fi in a peanut butter or in a praline because there is no humidity. Citri-Fi works better, for example, in a low-fat mayonnaise than a full-fat mayonnaise, because with the low-fat mayonnaise, we have more water. So water is necessary, but it's case by case how much water you need. Okay, it's not standard. Is Citri-Fi okay in a preparation of fruit at 38 bricks? At 38 bricks, we cannot activate the high methoxylated pectin. Okay, we need minimum 55 bricks to be activated. So we have two cases. One case is to use Citri-Fi and activate this high methoxylated pectin, or use it and try to high sear the product in order to create viscosity and to provide viscosity to the fruit prep. Okay, provide viscosity, provide mouthfeel and texture to the fruit prep. But in that case, it will not create a gel, a firm gel, like the case at 60 bricks that pectin is activated and can start gelling. Let me see. Okay, I don't see any other questions so far. Deborah, do you want to add
There is
anything?
one last question. Does the Citri-Fi prefer to bind water or oil?
It can bind at the same time more. I mean, oil penetrates into the fiber and can stay inside the pockets of Citri-Fi. But it's what I said, we need humidity to make it functional. So it works better in water-based products than in fat-based products. Does it work well also with filled pasta? Does it bother retain water during shelf life and keeps feeling soft once cooked? It will retain water for sure. I mean, this is what Citri-Fi can do. It can bind water and fat, so it will definitely retain the water of the filling, so it can reduce. It will reduce the syneresis of the product and keeps feeling soft once cooked. It will be anyway soft, okay? If there is lack of humidity into the filling, then it will bind some extra filling during cooking, some extra humidity during cooking, okay? So it will keep the filling soft when it's cooked, because Citri-Fi does not change its status, its state, when it's cooked, okay? So it will still be soft. Is there a minimum time for activation? No, no. There is no minimum time for activation. There is no temperature for activation. The only thing that can change, let's say, can help with the activation is high searing, which is, again, not always necessary, but it can help in some cases. Just to have an idea, which is the ratio retention between fiber water and fiber oil. If I can understand well the question, you mean where it can deliver stable emulsion. So we have seen that with 2% Citri-Fi, it can bind emulsions like 50% water, 50% oil, 2 to 3% with the organic product. The euro per kilo difference between organic and not, yeah, there is a significant difference because of the raw material. There is two things. One is the raw material, that it's more expensive, definitely, but it's available, so we can produce as much as we want. And the other one is this extra washing steps to get rid of some components and deliver and produce a deflavored product, a very light, let's say, neutral in taste product that, sorry, that does not help with the price, okay? Because with that way, we reduce our yield. So yes, there is a significant difference that Prodotti Gianni can help you about it. When I want the emulsion property, shall I activate Citri-Fi in water and add oil afterwards? One way is to add Citri-Fi in water, high sear it, and then add the oil and continue high searing. Okay. There is the other way that you can still add Citri-Fi in the oil. Mix it in the oil. You don't need really high sear it in the oil because it will not change, and then slowly add the water. But the most common way, and the one that we are using normally in most of the applications, is to add Citri-Fi in water, high sear it, and then add the oil. Let's wait a little bit, maybe another one question will come.
In the meantime, I can say that we have samples available, and if you have any further question or you need help to formulate with these Citri-Fi products, we are at your disposal if we can help you. We are in direct contact with Fiberstar, so no problem to help you to formulate with Citri-Fi product.
Yeah. The product is available in Europe. The product, of course, is EU certified organic. And we also have a warehouse, and we started delivering our organic product from next month. Basically, we will have some stock of organic product in Europe, but also Prodotti Gianni, they will create a small stock.
Yes.
Oh no, it's the old one. I don't think that we missed any question, right? Is there a minimum time for activation? I said no. I'm just checking again the questions. No, I cannot see.
No, I think that we have replied to all the questions.
Okay. Sounds good. So I think that we are just on time, okay?
Yes,
it's 4:25. Thank you very much for attending that webinar. If you need more information on specific applications, please let us know. Please contact Prodotti Gianni sales manager. I'm pretty sure that they will help you to provide the right information for the specific application that you are interested. We could stay for 2-3 hours here covering all the food segments and all the food applications. Unfortunately, this is not possible. So please don't hesitate to contact us if you need something, any information, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot, Stefanos, for the nice presentation, and thanks to all the participants that has joined the meeting.
Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon, and yeah, ciao.
Bye-bye. See you. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.